Hi, my name is Michelle Murphy, and I'm here to talk to you about my business, which is Nutrition. First off, I just want to say this is the front of my website. So here we have the option if you need a nutrition coach, or if you want to create your free macro profile, as well as the links to my social media pages. And this is if you want to get in touch. We have our email, which is info@mmnutrition.ca, as well as our phone number. And at the top, you can see that we have a drop-down menu for About, which is about us and what we have to offer, our programs, recipes, as well as contact. So there's keto, Whole30, and yak inside. However, what do these three things have in common? Well, believe it or not, they are all fad diets. Are you tired of fad diets? Well, like I said, there are many fad diets out there. I've named a few, such as the keto, Whole30, and the Atkins diet. There's the zone diet, paleo, the vegan diet, vegetarian. But most of the time, consumers just go for a quick, easy fix, something that will help them lose weight quickly, and something that looks pretty easy, and they think that they can do and sustain it. But however, you may have guessed that fad diets just don't work. They are a no-go. People realize that fad diets aren't actually sustainable because you're basically starving your body so that when you go back to eating normally, you're just going to go and gain the weight that you've lost through this fad diet. And you probably gain more because you were starving your body for such a long period of time. So the people end up going back to their old ways because they think this diet's not going to work for them, healthy eating isn't for them, so they're just going to go back to their old ways of eating junk food just because they think this is the only diet that's easy for them to maintain. However, this is my story. So I was also someone that struggled to eat right. I would think I was eating healthy by having a Caesar salad, or I would have a piece of whole wheat bread with some butter, because I thought that was healthy. But then I was like, oh wait, carbs aren't actually good for you. So I would go and restrict my carbs and just eat higher fatty foods. So I never really knew how to fuel my body. So I tended to restrict. Like I said, I would restrict with the bread, but this caused me to actually overeat. So I would have a somewhat healthy breakfast, which I thought was healthy, but then come lunch, I would have all this bread with butter. I would eat fries because I was like, oh, fries aren't that bad for you. So I would just eat whatever I wanted because I was starving myself. Then I realized that this was a vicious cycle, and I never actually saw any improvements, and I was actually gaining weight because I was never fueling my body to what it needed, just what I thought was what I needed, and more so what I wanted to eat. That's when I discovered macros. So I worked with a nutrition coach starting of July last year, and she worked with me to give me the macros that were catered to my goals and needs, and that would help me to sustain a healthy lifestyle. Through this, I actually developed a healthy relationship with food, and it was something that I could sustain. So even today, I'm still sustaining this macro counting lifestyle, and I find it just really works with me, and I've developed a healthy relationship with food. The inspiration behind Nutrition is I want to help others create a healthy lifestyle, just like I have, and I also want people to develop a healthy relationship with food, because a healthy relationship with food is a happy relationship with food. You don't look at food as something that's a guilt or something that we're forced to do. It's supposed to be enjoyable and something we look to fuel our body. No one deserves to be afraid of food. You don't want to shy away from social situations because people are going out to restaurants and you end up staying back at home because you don't know what they're going to eat and you don't think you can eat that. That's not what macro counting is about. We want you to go out and enjoy it with your friends. What does M&M Nutrition have to offer? Well, we offer flexible eating, and we also offer, it's an if it fits your macros lifestyle, or IFYM. So if it fits your macros is a lifestyle where as long as it fits your macros, you can have it. But you're probably wondering, what is macros? Like, what is this if it fits your macros lifestyle? Well, here's your question. What are macronutrients? They're composed of 3 nutrients. The main nutrients that we need, so that's why they're called macro, meaning larger. They are the carbohydrates, the fats, and the proteins that we need to fuel our body. So all 3 are very important. You don't need to single anyone out. And yes, I know this may sound crazy, but even carbs. You need carbs in your diet. Your body needs the energy. You don't need to restrict food, because macros isn't about cutting back on unhealthy foods and carbs. Absolutely not. It's about finding a balance. So if you have your dinner, which could be like a grilled chicken with some beans and rice, you can have that cookie for dessert, as long as it fits your macros and you don't go and eat 10 cookies instead of just 1. Why did I choose M&M Nutrition for my business? Well, I want to, like I said, to develop a healthy relationship with food and to create a lifestyle that was sustainable for life and not just another fad diet out there. And I believe that healthy eating can be fun. There are so many recipes out there. Pinterest is one of my best friends. You can just find so many recipes, and people are constantly sharing new ways of eating healthy that can be fun and enjoyable for everyone. And it's not something that's meant to be a chore. And we offer a variety of services based on needs and goals. So we have 3 different services, such as our weekly check-ins, monthly check-ins, and one-time macro package. There were challenges that I faced throughout these 14 weeks. Here are a few of them. One of them being, I realized that different plans would work for different people because everyone's different. So that's why I had to go and figure out a service that I could offer to people based on their needs. That's where I developed the weekly check-ins for somebody that may need that constant check-in and constant help. Or there's a monthly check-in where somebody has a good idea of it and they prefer to get monthly check-ins because they have a grasp of what they're doing. And then I also have the one-time nutrition where people just want a one-time nutrition and something that they just want to maintain and not lose or gain weight. Another challenge I faced was coming up with new nutrition plans that would appeal to more than just one person, and that's where my 3 current programs come into play. And I also realized that I would need to reach beyond the CrossFit box, and I need to go out of my comfort zone and going beyond that one box, so reaching out to other gyms in Ottawa, as well as gyms and clients throughout Ontario. I also needed to create a business budget that was sustainable and realistic, because realistically, in 14 weeks, I will not be making $10,000. So I had to look back and see what were my priorities, what was something that was sustainable and realistic for me. I did have successes throughout my 14 weeks. I brought in clients from all over Ottawa, a few from the gym that my office is currently located at. And I also was able to set up a website that was functional and informational and definitely eye-catching and easy to use. I was also able to set up online payments so that I gave clients the option to either come in and pay, or they can set up online payments, which means M&M Nutrition automatically takes out the monthly or one-time payments through their credit card. I also was able to set up social media pages because social media today is a very, very popular platform and what many consumers use nowadays. I also did set up my very first gym challenge recently. This is where an entire gym takes part in a group fitness challenge and everyone gets their macros. We weigh and measure everyone, and by the end of the month, whoever sees the biggest difference through healthy macro counting, they win a prize, and it would be like a month of free coaching or some protein supplements. Some takeaways. I learned that turning your passion into a business can make you question if it's really what you love and if it's actually worth it to do that. Sometimes you think that because it's your passion and what you love, it'll make it easier, but it can be the complete opposite and make it really difficult to make you want to keep going, because you may end up falling out of love with it, and instead you just gotta realize that this is what you want to do, and you just have to keep going and working hard, because it'll be worth it in the end. Lessons learned was that building a business is a very slow process. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and you just got to keep going at it and going at it, as well as there are many fine details that go into creating a business, such as getting your small business license, registering your business with the city of Ottawa, and I also had to figure out how to get my business name out into the world, and I couldn't just sit back, which put me out of my comfort zone. So like I said, it's going out of my comfort zone, and that was a really big challenge for me, and it was something that I had to learn, was that if I wanted to be successful, I had to put myself out there. Overall, I did really enjoy this experience of creating M&M Nutrition, as well as creating my own business and learning about what goes into being an entrepreneur over the past 14 weeks. And I've also enjoyed the stressful components, because I feel like they gave me the most satisfaction, because that was when I worked my hardest. I also really liked creating a business that I was passionate about, because it did make the sweat, blood, and tears worth it in the end. Thank you very much.